There are 7 legal rules in the UK that continue to protect immigrants even when you are undocumented, overstayed, facing deportation, or scared and uncertain. These are not theories. They are facts backed by UK law, human rights, and real-life case studies. If you are an immigrant in the UK, you need to know what rights you still have and how to use them to protect your life, your family, and your future. In this documentary, I break down this protection one by one in a clear, emotional, and revealing format, from the Human Rights Act to the right to healthcare, education, and legal appeal. Whether you are on a visa, undocumented, seeking asylum, or just worried about the system, this video could change everything. I found 7 ultimate rules that protect immigrants in the UK, even in the most difficult situation. At first glance, this may seem like just laws or general knowledge, but what I discovered was far deeper than I expected. These rules are not just legal provisions, they are shields often hidden in plain sight that have saved countless immigrants from deportation, despair, and disaster. My name is Chelly. I am an immigrant, a professional, and someone who have spent years living in the UK, navigating its immigration system, not only for myself, but for many others like me. And today, I want to share what I have learned. These are not theories, these are lifelines. Okay, so let's unpack them together. Rule number 1. Human rights applies to everyone, no matter your immigration status. That is not just a theory, that is the UK law. The Human Rights Act of 1998 gives legal force to the European Convention on Human Rights. Even though the UK has left the EU, it has not withdrawn from the convention. Article 3 of this law protects every person in the UK from torture, inhuman or degrading treatment. Article 8 protects the right to private and family life. These are powerful tools that have stopped deportation, delayed removals, and even overturned immigration decisions. Let me tell you a real example. A Nigerian mother of 2 facing removal appealed under Article 8, claiming that deporting her would tear her from her children, both of whom were in the UK schools and had never known life in Nigeria. The UK agreed. The removal was cancelled. Why? Because family life matters. The UK may not always be generous, but it is still bound by its own laws, and human rights are part of that legal DNA. Rule number 2. You cannot be deported without due process. This means you are entitled to a fair hearing, legal representation, and the chance to appeal. The Home Office cannot simply show up and detain you and remove you overnight without following these steps. Even if you've overstayed your visa or entered irregularly, you still have legal rights. The system is not perfect, but the law gives you power. The Immigration and Asylum Act provide pathways for appeals. The First Tie Tribunal hears these cases, and thousands of people win every year. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to understand the process and act fast. If you are served with removal, you can often apply for administrative review, judicial review, or even make a fresh claim if new evidence has emerged. Time and information can be your best defense. Rule number 3. If returning to your country puts you at risk, the UK cannot legally deport you. Now, this is called non-refoulement. It's embedded in international law and enforced through the Refugee Convention. If you fear persecution because of your race, religion, political opinion, sexuality, or even tribal affiliation, you may have a case for asylum or humanitarian protection. But here's what most people don't realize. Even if your asylum is refused, you can still fight removal based on human rights grounds. For example, example, if your mental health is deteriorating and returning home would place you at risk of suicide or abuse, Article 3 may apply. These cases are complex, but they are real and they actually work. Rule number 4, victim of domestic abuse.
She was crying, she got facial injuries. So it was that kind of instant. You have to sit down, take some time, let her tell you what's happened.
Trafficking or modern day slavery are protected, even if they are undocumented. The UK has systems in place like the National Referral Mechanism. If you are trafficked or enslaved, the system can give you support, accommodation, and even prevent deportation while your case is investigated. For those on spousal visas facing abuse, the Destitute Domestic Violence Concession allows you to apply for temporary leave and financial support. Later, you can apply for indefinite leave to remain under special provisions. And if you think this doesn't apply to men, think again. Abuse knows no gender. The law protects victims, not just identities. Rule number 5, free legal help. Yes, free legal help still exists. Legal aid in the UK is limited, but still available for immigration matters like asylum, trafficking, domestic abuse, and some human rights claims. Organizations like the Joint Council for Welfare of Immigrants, Migrant Help, Law Centers Network, and Refugee Council provide free, subsidized legal advice. If you can't afford a lawyer in the UK, don't give up. The legal network in the UK is still alive, even if underfunded. Every immigrant should know where their local legal center is. Having someone who understands the system can make the difference between deportation and a second chance. And these organizations don't just offer legal advice, they often offer housing support, emotional counseling, and connection to wider communities. Rule number 6, even undocumented immigrants can access essential services. Emergency healthcare under the NHS is still available, no matter your status. That includes emergency room visit, treatment for infectious disease, mental health crisis, and maternity care. Primary GP care can be accessed in many cases without proof of address or ID, especially for vulnerable groups. Education for children under 18 is a legal right. Even if a parent has no visa, the child is entitled to go to school, and more importantly, schools are not required to share immigration status with the Home Office. Police cannot arrest you just for being undocumented. If you are the victim of a crime, especially domestic abuse, exploitation, or trafficking, you are entitled to protection and help. Rule number 7, you always have the right to challenge the Home Office. Immigration decisions are often flawed. The Home Office has a long track record of errors, delays, and wrongful decisions. That's why appeals exist, judicial reviews exist, Section 3C leave exists. If you submit a visa renewal or new application before your current visa expires, Section 3C of the Immigration Act automatically protects your legal status until a new decision is made. This means you remain lawfully in the UK even if your visa expires while you await a decision. That simple rule has protected thousands. Let me say this clearly. Never make decisions based on fear. The Home Office is not your friend, but it is not above the law. You can challenge it, you can delay removal, you can fight back, and you can win. Let's wrap this up. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. The law in the UK is not perfect, but it is powerful. You are not helpless and you are not voiceless. These 7 rules are not loopholes. They are rights written into the system to protect people like you and me. Tell someone about this video. Share it with a friend who may be afraid, who may think they have no way out. These rules will make your journey easy, but they might make it possible. And sometimes that's all someone needs. Stay informed, stay calm, and stay protected. This is the Lens 24. Thank you for watching, and check out our next video on the tag.